cash, code names, and ketamine.
These doctors can buy vials of ketamine for $12, and then they turn around and sell them for $2,000 a vial.
As the feds take down Matthew Perry's alleged greedy enablers.
Dr. Feel-Goods or pill mills are a huge problem in this country.
One of the 5 defendants in the Friend Star's inner drug circle is in federal court tomorrow. Dr. Mark Chavez is one of 2 doctors charged in connection with Matthew's death. He has accepted a plea deal and is said to be incredibly remorseful after allegedly being contacted by Dr. Salvador Plasencia.
Dr. Chavez was a colleague of Plasencia. They worked together, and he was able to procure the ketamine.
Nima Rumani is a former federal prosecutor. He says Chavez could help bring down the hammer on the other defendants by working with feds to right his wrongs.
Having that insider testimony, someone that's willing to flip and testify at trial if necessary, does put a lot of pressure on the remaining co-defendants to plead guilty as well.
Chavez's court date, the first in a string of upcoming legal appearances by the remaining 4 players in the case.
Personally, I have no sympathy for what happens to them in federal prison.
Former prosecutor Matt Murphy, who spent 2 decades trying some of the most compelling murder cases in the nation, says the investigation comes down to one woman.
So there was one central character. She was actually like the dealer, so to speak.
She is Jasveen Sanya, infamously now known as the Ketamine Queen. Feds say she used her apartment as a stash house to store, package, and distribute narcotics to high-end celebs.
When they served the search warrants on her residence, they found an absolute wealth of evidence, and under federal sentencing guidelines, she probably stands the longest sentence.
Sanya is pleaded not guilty. Prosecutors claim Dr. Salvador Plasencia, whose home was raided earlier this year, used encrypted messaging apps and coded language to discuss drug deals, referring to ketamine as Dr. Pepper, cans, and bots. Plasencia even allegedly texted this message: "I wonder how much this moron will pay." He is pleaded not guilty.
Dr. Plasencia is apparently still in business, and the judge said that he needs to provide some notice to patients that charges are pending. But unless he's convicted, he can still operate.
Plasencia is accused of supplying drugs to Perry's live-in assistant, Kenneth Iwamasa, who delivered the failed dose.
Perry allegedly told him, shoot me up with the big one.
Matthew Seedorf is a reporter with KTTV, our Fox affiliate in Los Angeles.
And then Iwamasa went out and did some errands, came back and found Perry, unfortunately, just dead in the hot tub.
Engine 23, rescue 23, EMS 9.
Kenneth called 911 that fateful day.
Respond to the drowning.
Filmmaker Eric Fleming was the middleman in the scheme. He pleaded guilty to distributing ketamine and faces up to 25 years in prison.
He is a director and has Hollywood ties as a producer, but also was kind of the one delivering the drugs from the alleged Ketamine Queen to Perry's assistant.
So, do prosecutors have an open and shut case against the doctors?
It's not easy to prove that a doctor prescribed something that was medically unnecessary.
And what about Kenneth, the personal assistant?
Is doing your job or following orders a license to break the law or a legal defense? And it's absolutely not.
In his autobiography, Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Thing, Matthew wrote about what he considered his deadly addiction to drugs and alcohol.
If you like, you can consider what you're about to hear to be a message from the beyond. My beyond. And yes, there is a hell. Don't let anyone tell you different. I've been there, it exists, end of discussion.
But had someone stepped up to Perry and gotten him the help that he needs, maybe, just maybe, he would still be alive right now.